Hello, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Literary Love 123, where I combine my master's in English with my passion for the horror genre to talk about the books that I read. I am so excited about today's video. In this video, I'll be spilling the tea on the spring horror releases that I'm most looking forward to in 2025. For the purpose of this video, I will be considering the months of March, April, and May as spring. I have 9 books in March, 5 books in April, and 4 books in May that I want to talk to you about. I will divide the video up into chapters so you can see March and April and May separately. So let's get started. Before we get started, I want to credit the source for my information. I found out about these awesome spring horror releases from Emily C. Hughes. You can find her at the website Read Jump Scares. Also, she has a fabulous book that I gifted to my best friend for her birthday recently. That book is Horror for Weenies. And my best friend is kind of a weenie when it comes to horror. So I thought, hey, let me give her this book, and that way she'll kind of know a little bit more about the horror I read and watch. So if you haven't checked out Emily C. Hughes, please make sure you do that. And I will definitely have her website linked down in the description box below. Kicking off with the March horror releases. First of all, I want to talk to you about The Divine Flesh, written by Drew Huff, coming out March 4th from Dark Matter Inc. A flesh bending cosmic horror goddess breaks free from her prison and wreaks havoc on a conservative small town after bigots murder her human lover. Also coming out on March 4th, The Undoing of Violet Claiborne by Emily Critchley. This is coming out from Sourcebooks Landmark. Here's the synopsis. For fans of Sarah Penner and The Foundling comes a slow burn gothic mystery following Jillian, a young girl enthralled by the enigmatic Claiborne sisters, their house at Thornley Hall, and the tragedy that binds them together for good. Then we have coming out on March 11th from Flame Tree, The Gaia Chime by Johnny Worthen. Charlotte, seeking to make a documentary for her graduate thesis, enlists the older Seth, a burned out film teacher with a history of scandal, to film the daily life of a rising tennis star, Bobby Weller. It's a glimpse into the world of the rich and dedicated that turns horrifying when Bobby murders both his parents on live TV. It's patricide, an echo of Zeus rising up against Kronos, the young gods replacing the Titans. Now, the very public slaughter prompts the filmmakers to trace the threads of blood to the rich and powerful and the horror of global destruction. Can they stop the Gaia chime? First, they need to find out what it is. Then coming out on March 18th from Crooked Lane, we have My Sister's Shadow by January Gilchrist. Envy and desire infiltrate the lives of twin sisters in this dark, gothic suspense set in set in England and New York City. Perfect for fans of Laura Jo Rowland and Hester Fox. Also coming out on March 18th from MTV Books. I know that was a thing. Okay, Till Death by Kellen McDaniel. 2 gay men, one young, one ageless, sink their teeth into reclaiming their lives and identities from those who would silence them in this insatiable romantic horror novel from Hugo and Nebula Award nominated author Kellen McDaniel. Then on March 25th, from Poisoned Pen, Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen. I have pre-ordered this book. I read My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna Van Veen toward the end of 2024. It was a total 5 stars. I was obsessed with it. So anything Johanna Van Veen writes, I am on it. So let me tell you what Blood on Her Tongue is about. The Netherlands, 1887. Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat, mumbles nonsensically, and is increasingly obsessed with a centuries old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. To protect her twin from a terrible fate in a lunatic asylum, Lucy must unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's condition, but it's clear her twin is hiding something. Then again, Lucy is harboring secrets of her own, too. Then the worst happens. Sarah's behavior takes a turn for the strange. She becomes angry and hungry. Also coming out on March 25th from Ghoulish, A Feast of Putrid Delights by Valentina Rojas. An ambitious chef takes an experimental street drug to combat her chronic insomnia and becomes obsessed with creating the perfect dish. Pitched as Saint Maud meets My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Then coming out also on March 25th from Kensington, Gothic Town by Emily Carpenter. In an immersive Southern Gothic with echoes of Shirley Jackson's The Lottery and Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, that's my language right there immediately. A restaurateur is lured by pandemic era incentives and moves her family to a seemingly idyllic small town in Georgia, only to discover a darkness lurking beneath the Southern hospitality and sun dappled streets. Yes, please. And then finally, the last one in March, also coming out on March 25th from Creature, Root Rot by Saskia Nislo. 9 children travel with their families to their grandfather's vacation property, where strange things begin to happen. Eyes blink from the bottom up, mushrooms ooze blood, people's faces don't hang right anymore, except they do once you look more closely. Transformations warp the children's sense of time and place, the very land itself seeming to encroach upon them. All right, let's get to April. Coming out on April 1st from Tin House is Sour Cherry by Natalia Theodorodou. This haunting and unforgettable debut novel, Sour Cherry, confronts age-old systems of gender and power, long-held excuses made for bad men, and the complicated reasons we stay captive to the monsters we love. After losing her baby, Agnes is called to the great manor house to nurse the local lord's baby boy. But something is wrong with the child. His nails grow too fast, his skin smells of soil, and his eyes remind her of the dark forest. As he grows into a boy, then into a man, a plague seems to follow him everywhere. Then coming out on April 3rd from Wild Hunt is This House Isn't Haunted, But We Are by Stephen Howard. Simon and Priya's young daughter has died in a tragic accident. Determined to heal their fracturing marriage, the couple moved to the North Yorkshire moors to renovate a dilapidated rural cottage. However, they just can't process their grief as increasingly eerie events unfold. A child's ghostly figure appears on the moors, doors lock themselves, and a mysterious stain grows from the loft. Is it their daughter haunting them or something else? Then coming out on April 29th from Mara is Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zink. In this explosive horror novel, a woman is haunted by inner trauma, hungry ghosts, and a serial killer as she confronts the brutal violence experienced by East Asians during the pandemic. Also coming out on March 29th from Berkeley is The Ghost Woods by C.J. Cook. A young woman sent to stay in a crumbling Gothic manor will find haunting secrets creeping out of the surrounding dark woods in this new chilling novel from the acclaimed author of The Lighthouse Witches. Then also, finally, coming out on April 29th from Del Rey is The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. A group of friends investigates the mystery of a strange staircase in the woods in this mesmerizing horror novel from the New York Times bestselling author of the Book of Accidents. That'll do it for April, so let's get to May. We finally made it to May. So let me talk to you about the books I'm looking forward to in May. First of all, coming out on May 6th from Nightfire is Overgrowth by Mira Grant. Annihilation meets Day of the Triffids in this full on body horror alien invasion apocalypse. Then coming out on May 13th from Dutton, Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang. From the author of Natural Beauty, set in the fiercely competitive art world, a novel about an obsessive friendship upended by cutting edge technology purported to enhance empathy and connection. Then coming out on May 27th from Scribner, Never Flinch from Stephen King. So you know I'm a sucker for any and all Stephen King and a fan of Holly. So let's talk about Never Flinch. From master storyteller Stephen King comes an extraordinary new novel with intertwining storylines. One about a killer on a diabolical revenge mission, and another about a vigilante targeting a feminist celebrity speaker, featuring the beloved Holly Gibney and a dynamic new cast of characters. Then finally, coming out in May, that's the only information I saw on Emily's website. It didn't have a specific date, but coming out in May from Bad Hand is Silk and Sinew, a collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora. A collection of folk horror from the Asian diaspora will tease forth folk horror rooted in the experience of the Asian diaspora. From lengths of muscle and vein, ground bones, endless ropes of sinew, it is with our bodies. Folk horror is woven. So that wraps up May. I'd love to know which of these books pique your interest. I would also love to know what I missed. Do you think there are other books coming out in the spring that I would look forward to reading? Do you have your most anticipated books? I would love to know what you're most excited to read. So comment, like this video, subscribe, and I am looking forward to continuing to carry on the conversation about books. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.